Okay, so if you're a roofer or a contractor, you're here for a reason, right? You've seen all these other ads, you've seen these things like get 50 new sales this month or your money back. I'm just here to tell you those things aren't realistic, okay? There's a certain cost associated with creating an appointment. That appointment cost is going to be probably anywhere from 50 to maybe $200. Once you kind of have things flowing, that's about what your average cost per appointment is going to be. So when we see these things, so those just aren't realistic, unfortunately. Because in order to hit that 50 new sales a month, you're going to need $25,000 to $50,000 of ad spend a month. That's what you're going to need at a $500 to $1,000 cost per acquisition. So just right off the bat, I'm trying to teach you guys to just understand this whole game as a whole and what we're doing. So whether you're using Facebook ads, YouTube ads, Google ads, it doesn't matter. You're just trying to get a potential prospect in front of you to be able to want to book an appointment. Remember, the more detailed you make it on a form or the more of a process you put them through, although you will have a much higher pickup rate, meaning like maybe close to 80%, you may still not have perfection, meaning they still might not pick up the phone even if they booked on your calendar. They still might not pick up the phone even if they gave you a custom lead form, right? So what you have to do is find what is the best cost per appointment that I can do overall. These people are not searching directly for you, especially when they're on Facebook or things like that. They're just scrolling up and down. So our job as working together as a team, you and I, is to get them to want to click and become an appointment, right? What do we have to do, say, offer, sometimes even bribe to them to be able to want to book an appointment, right? And then you say, okay, well, this is my appointment cost between this and this, okay? You live with it, those are good, and then you scale it. The biggest problem, though, that I see is not generating leads. It's not doing messages. It's not doing call ads. You know what it is? The biggest problem that I see all contractors across the board is being able to connect with the potential prospect who's interested in their service. If you're waiting 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, that's still just too late, unfortunately. You need to connect with them almost instantly, right? So what I said is like, okay, well, if you look at the results below, right, you can obviously see I know what I'm doing and I've helped a lot of people, right? So, but what I did for a lot of these guys is I hooked them up on a messenger, right? A Facebook Messenger, and then they were able to call it or work with it, right? Sometimes people blow it out the water. Sometimes people didn't, right? And I'm just trying to be transparent with you so you understand how this game works as a whole. If you can get leads, right, and somebody's meaning to fill out what you have and saying, yes, I want your services, or yes, I'm interested, or whatever, at the end of the day, that's probably I mean, you can ask for an address, you can dial more in, but the more you ask, the more you're going to pay for that same prospect, and you still may not get it on the phone or be able to get a hold of it, right? So I say, okay, let me fix the biggest problem for you guys, which is just being able to get somebody on the phone. That is it. I promise you. That's probably your biggest problem. And then next to sales, of course, right? So here's my thought. If I was talking to a friend like who's like, oh man, I'm going to get this sick new truck for my business. I'm like, that's probably a bad idea because you could take that same money and put it into ad spend. And once you have things rocking and rolling, there's no reason that you can't turn $7,000 to $10,000 a month or even $12,000 a month of ad spend into $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 a month of return once you have it dialed in. But you have to have it dialed in first, right? So how do we get it dialed in? How do we do that, right? Well, whether I'm running Facebook ads for you, Google, YouTube, etc., I'm making sure as soon as that prospect comes in, I have not only just, myself seeing it and seeing what's going on, I have a person who's going to call and reach out these people for you and set the appointments for you. So all you have to do is just show up to the appointment, right? Because after working with client after client after client after client after client after client, I can tell you the number one problem is speed to lead. And then the second is follow-up and hitting that enough to try to get it to be a prospect, right? Or a potential appointment. And if you're not focusing on this, you're losing. Even Home Advisor, even just Facebook lead forms without any questions can still convert. I promise you they can. It's just the speed at which you're doing it. And if you're not doing it kind of almost on an instant part, as soon as it comes in, you're going to lose it. Like, you also have to know when you're doing this that at first you may blow some money. Like, that's part of the game. In my eyes, I've seen this a lot. And people want to make an additional $2 to $5 million in their business, but if it doesn't work out what they're trying to do in the first 2 weeks, they just stop, right? Or if they spend, an additional couple grand and they don't get anything out of it, or it's not exactly where they want it to be, they completely stop. Listen, creating formulas to take your business from 2 million to 5 to 6 to $8 million isn't easy, right? So it takes a little tweaking and testing and changing to get it where it needs to be. So as long as you can get those appointment costs between, like I said, $50 to $150, maybe hair north, and then you can go out to 1 out of 4 of those, 1 out of 3 of those, and you can start closing some deals. Now you're dealing with a cost per acquisition that's probably about $500 or maybe even less, maybe even a little bit more. But when you're selling $10, $20, $30,000 products like remodels, big metal roofs, siding, windows, stuff like that, you're always making money on it. You know what I mean? So that's what I do. Is not only I work with you one-on-one and consult with you to make sure you're actually making money, right? And this is actually moving the needle and you're actually able to generate some money out of this. I install a person to you so you can worry about just going out to the appointments, right? So let's say I'm doing messages, right? Facebook Messenger. They'll answer all the messages for you. Then they'll call the people up for you and then they'll set the appointment. Let's say I'm doing Facebook lead forms. They're going to call the people for you, text them, and set those appointments up, right? But you know what? I always tell you this, even if I'm going to do it for you, even if I have somebody, it's always important that you still reach out because this is your business, right? And nobody should care about it more. I shouldn't text somebody at 10:30 at night about a new prospect coming in, right? A screenshot and not get something back from it, right? Or letting you know, hey, did you call that lead? Did you call that prospect? And you're not doing it. This is why I've switched to this model where I have to babysit and do everything because at the end of the day, that's where the money's missing. I promise you, it's not lead creation. Leads are easy. Leads are a piece of the cake to create. But creating that lead into an appointment, creating that appointment into a sale, that's a little bit more difficult, right? So that's what I do. I work with you one-on-one. I have somebody do all the calling for you, all the texting, all the outreach. And then you just make sure you show up to those appointments, right? I put all the appointments on a spreadsheet so you can track them. But on top of it, I also have them dive into your CRM and actually put them right on your CRM so you can make sure that when you go out there, like it's easy. You just go to your computer and see what you have for that day or that month, and it's easily to track, right? And then on top of it, what I do is as a bonus, okay, I do your Instagram posting, your Facebook posting. I'll help you if you need a little bit of help with your website or anything like that, kind of touch a few things up, whatever you need. If you need a brand new website, that might be a little bit of a different conversation. And then on top of it, I'll make sure within 90 days, I get you ranked top 3 on those map packs as well, okay? So those are all bonuses, right? But the main offer is the one-on-one consulting. I'm creating all the ads for you. I'm creating the offers, which is going to get you in the door at the lowest cost. And we work on those offers together to make sure we're attracting your ideal customer, client, and we're getting that exact deal that you want, right? So consulting, offer, all the ad platforms, Google ads, Facebook ads, YouTube ads. I think Facebook is probably going to give you your best bang for your buck, to be honest. And then once it's working, we scale it to the moon. So I'm trying to create this formula for you or this machine. And then once we have it rocking, we just scale it out the moon, right? And that's how you see all those people like Brandon Copeland who went from $40,000 a month to $850,000 a month. Will and Natalie Odom who went from 1.8 million to 10 million, who were able to buy their dream house finally for themselves. You can talk to them. I'll give you their number. I don't care. I'll give you Brandon's number too. I don't have, there's nothing to hide about when you work with me. I'll give you anybody's phone number. You can reach out to whoever. And I'm always available. I'll never duck phone calls. I'm always here to make sure that you're getting the result that you need for your business. But unfortunately, the only way you're going to get that result is by making sure those appointments are always set. And if you, I hate to say it like this, but if you are the one calling and texting and reaching out, it's not good enough. It's 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 10 minutes, 8 minutes. No, it needs to be pretty much instant, like 1 to 2 minutes. That's it, tops. When I worked in the moving industry, and I'll finish up here, we had to call, we used to buy leads, right, from this company, moving.com. And I had an auto refresher on the screen that every 15 seconds, if a new lead came in, I would see it, right? It would just automatically pop up. Why? Because sometimes they were shared leads, but I'd still want to be first to it. And we still killed it and crushed it because we were first on the scene. And that's what you need to make sure of when you're doing this, is you're just instantly there. They're raising their hand, right? But that hand is only going to stay up so long, right? And then they put that hand down, okay? So what am I doing for you? I'm consulting with you on a monthly basis to make sure we're hitting the goals that we want. I'm trying to help you so you can increase your company revenue by an additional $2, $3, $4 million, right, from where you're at. It does take ad spend. It's not cheap. It is what it is. I spend $150 to $200 a day of my own personal ad spend to be able to create a possible lead or a new prospect myself. So when, contractors only want to spend $50 or $75 a day, you're just not going to get much, unfortunately. It just costs real money to make real money, okay? How's my services work? I just charge you $4,000 month to month. I like to go at least 60 days to start out so you can see where it's at and what you're getting. You are responsible for your ad spend, okay? You are paying me for my expertise, all these people I've helped, and almost a guarantee, if you will, to scale your company to the next level. If it doesn't work out, you think it's bullshit, I'll give your money back. I don't care. There isn't like I'll work for free until we do, because that's just bullshit, right? You don't really get anything back from that. If it's smoke from the beginning, it's smoked and it's not going to work, right? You need to make sure that if you do something and you invest in it and it's not working out and you're not getting the sales and things like that, that you should be able to get your money back. And that's what I always offer, is a money back guarantee if you're not happy. It is month to month, but I say give me 45 days, 60 days, something like that, to just at least prove myself to you. Within that first 30 days, though, if we're not seeing any positivity or anything good, and you just want to cut it, we can go ahead and do that. But you got to give me at least 30 days to do so, right? Again, you're responsible for the ad spend. It's $4,000 a month. I am doing all the calling for you, the texting, the reaching out. You just need to show up to the appointment, but we're still working and consulting one-on-one. You can text me daily. I'd prefer not a phone call every day, but a couple times a week at least, we can talk on the phone and we can make sure that you're actually hitting those goals that you need to so you can scale your company to the moon. Whether you're a roofer and you want to only do, inspections, or you're a roofer and you want to do retail, or you're a contractor and you want to focus on remodels, I'll come up with custom offers with you so we can try to get in the door at the best cost for an appointment possible. And then once we start getting those sales in, that's when you crank it up. You don't want to hover around $50 or $100 a day of ad spend. That's going to do nothing for you. You need to, once it's working, $600, $800, $1,000 a day. And that's how you start making $10 million a year in your business. Anyways, if you are interested, you can click the button below. You can book a call, or you can click the green button and you can just sign right up, and then we'll get started within 24 to 48 hours. Again, I have not some Filipino caller or anything like that. This is a USA-based caller, perfect English, who's going to constantly reach out to these prospects that are coming in so we can make sure we're always converting those into dollars. This is what I do. I'd love to help you. If you want to hop on that call, click on that button below, or just pay to get started and we'll get rocking and rolling. All right. I hope you have a blessed one. Take care.